Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday. I am just making sure my screen is where I can see it. All right, awesome. Hi, happy Monday. Um, I don't know what the schedule is up in Northern Virginia, but my kids just went back to school after being out for spring break down here in the South. And I am excited to have them back in school. Any other mamas with me on that one? Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm excited to be here like more than usual just because I'm kid free. And today I want to talk to you about what we've been talking about, our ongoing series. We're talking about not doing more marketing, but doing smarter marketing, right? Really getting clear, getting very, very, very clear. And I want to say this up front because I'm not here to waste your time. Most of you are not struggling because you're not doing enough marketing. You're struggling because you're doing too much of the wrong kind of marketing for your business. You're probably posting, emailing, you're showing up, you're trying to stay consistent, and somehow it just feels like it's nothing. It's not moving, it's not working, it's like it's not performing. And that's the frustration, right? Like you put all the effort into it, and then the return on investment is like dismal. You're busy, you're not profitable, you're visible, but you're not converting, and you're working, but you're not scaling. So it's like, how do you fix that? And we're going to talk about that. And the three things that will fundamentally shift how you operate we're going to talk about those three things: AI and marketing, how to actually use it without overcomplicating your life, KPIs, what actually matters and what needs to go. And I'm not talking about vanity metrics, I'm talking about real metrics that lead to return on investment. And then funnels, how to build something that works while you sleep. And so by the end of today, you should feel inspired, you should feel slightly called out, and you should feel very clear on what to do next. And I say that as your friend. So let's address the proverbial elephant in the room. AI is not coming, it is here. It's just already here. And right now, there are two types of business owners: the ones that leverage it and the ones drowning in tasks that should have been automated 6 months ago. And so let me make this really simple. AI is not here to replace you, it's here to remove the things that are not worthy of your time anymore. Let that sink for a second. I just want that to sink in. AI is not here to replace you. It is here to remove the things that are not worthy anymore of your time. And so to define it simply, I like to look at it like this. AI in marketing is like using tools to help you. So you create faster, you analyze smarter, and you can personalize at scale, right? And that's it. It's no tech degree is required or anything like that. Um, but it is something that you need to be using in your business. And so let's break it down like kind of like real life. So let's talk content creation for a minute. Instead of starting or like you stare at a blank artboard or screen for 45 minutes going, what am I going to write? You could use AI to draft your post, to brainstorm ideas, to outline your blogs, your newsletters, and then you can go in and you as the human can refine it, letting the AI do your first draft for you. You are the strategist and the AI is like your assistant. So when you're thinking about how do I use it, think about it like that. It's an assistant. It's here to assist you. It's a resource. If you're doing email marketing, instead of writing every email from scratch, use AI to generate subject lines, structure sequence, and even repurposing content so that you're faster. And this is not, let me be clear, like because you're using AI and you're moving faster doesn't mean you're being lazy. You do not have to be a perpetual movement machine in order to be considered productive. So just remember that. By using AI, you're going to open up time in your schedule that will allow you to do things that grow your business. You are not lazy, or you're freeing up time. Another example would be like using AI for customer insights. So instead of guessing what your audience wants, you can use AI to analyze responses, identify patterns, improve messaging. And now you're making decisions based on data, not on vibes, right? Vibes would be like, well, a bunch of people like it. That's great. Ooh, I love that for you. But if they're not buying, it doesn't matter if they like it, right? It just doesn't. There's a disconnect there. And so using AI to help you gain a better understanding, a deeper understanding of who your customer avatar is really important. And the reality check moment for all this is that if you're still doing everything manually, you're not doing anything wrong. It's just, it's not the most efficient way to do it. And so when we start talking about how you manage your time, and what to be doing to be in your CEO role versus in the implementation role, if you're still doing everything manually, that's not necessarily dedication. It's kind of more inefficiency. And inefficiency can be very expensive. So if there's a task that's before you and you're struggling, whether or not to use AI for it, just ask yourself, is this task worth my hourly rate? The answer may be yes, and it may be no, right? Use AI to be the backup support to speed things up, to give you the time back to do the things that matter. Now, taking some time to use AI, not just from a content creation perspective, but from the automative perspective too. There's a lot of things that you can do in an automation so that once it's scheduled, you can just let it go and then you can go do other things. For example, you can automate repetitive tasks, drafting, data analysis. You can keep human the strategy because that person's going to be the one talking to the other person and there's going to be a connection there. You can keep the human like relationships, the decision making, keep all that human, but automate repetitive tasks. Don't be doing all of that over and over and over again if you don't have to. Now, there are lots of ways to go about your marketing, but like to give you some clear direction on what you could be doing, I'm going to give you 3 moves that you can make, power moves in your next steps for your business. So you can pick one task that you repeat, let's say the frequency is weekly, and automate or streamline it this week. Just one task. So like maybe it's your newsletter, right? Automate, streamline this week. The second power move you can do is you can use AI to generate your next 5 pieces of content. Edit and don't overthink. It can even give you visual design concepts for you to use in your own designing. So like if you're having a mental block on the design, you can ask for that. And then the third thing is stop aiming for perfect, aim for done and deployed. Okay. Perfect does not exist. It just doesn't. It doesn't. Just like get that out of your head. Everything you do is to go from done, or you're aiming for done and deployed. Did I get it done? Am I delivering everything that I say I'm going to deliver? And do people now know about it? That's where you're at, right? We want to get it out there. And if you do all 3 of those things, you're going to feel a million times better this week. But if you just do one this week, pick a task, make it the priority. Now, the second part of this making your marketing smarter, not doing more, is what is like tracking what actually matters. So we like to use KPIs, key performance indicators, to help us know if we're hitting goals or not, if we're reaching the mark or not. So let's talk about something that might hurt a little. A lot of you are measuring the wrong things. It's okay. I used to do it too, and I'm a marketer, okay? So it's okay. But I'm here to help get you back on track, okay? If you're tracking likes, follows, and views and calling it growth, that's not growth, that's activity. I just want to start right there. Let that sink in for a second. Likes, followers, views, those things seem like growth, but they are not true growth. It is activity. Now, KPIs, key performance indicators, that what it essentially means is it's the numbers that tell you if your business is actually working. The problem is most business owners track what's easy to see, not what actually makes money. And so it's easy to look at your analytics on social, but it's not necessarily easy to go through your sales report to identify your revenue streams, right? More steps. So I want to simplify your life a little bit to focus on what actually matters. There are really, I mean, don't come after me for saying this, but there's like four, I'm sure there's more, but there's like four numbers you need to care about in your business. Number one is the leads. How many new people are entering your world? That's the first one. The second one is conversions. How many of these people are buying? So leads, conversions, and then customer value. How much is each customer worth? And then the fourth one is cost to acquire. How much did it cost to get them? There is always a cost associated with acquiring a new client, and understanding what that is can help you make decisions on what rooms you stay in and don't stay at. So for example, let's say you get 100 leads and 10 people buy and your offer is $1,000. That's $10,000. Now we have something to work with, right? Now we have proof of concept, all the things. So the reality check is that you don't need more followers. You just might need better conversion because there's a lot of room there for better conversion, right? If you have 100 leads and only 10 people buy, that's 90 people that you did not convert. There's opportunity there. So a framework that you can use if something isn't working, it's usually one of these things. It's either the wrong audience, a weak offer, an unclear message, or poor distribution. Those tend to be the issues. So wrong audience, weak offer, unclear message, poor distribution. It's not the algorithm. I'm sorry, please don't come after me today. I told you you're going to feel a little bit today. It's not the algorithm. It's not against you. Okay. It's not the algorithm. We got to be focused. Now, power moves in this area that you could focus on that can really, really help you is one, have a framework in mind. So, for example, like you could have your audience to your offer to your message to your distribution. If something isn't working, you need to have a framework put into place to help fix that thing that's not working in your favor. Okay. So if you're going to take like 3 power moves for this particular segment of our talk today, is track leads plus conversions weekly and make that non-negotiable. Talk about it. Talk about it with your team. If you are your team, talk about it with yourself. Have a staff meeting with yourself. Identify your top performing offer and double down. Okay. Don't create new, that creates confusion. Identify the top performing offer and double down. And then stop posting just to post. Tie everything to a goal. So, for example, if you're just posting to post, it might look like you rotating through like evergreen content that's always true for you in your business, rotating through it, which is great, but then none of the call to actions lead to anything in particular. Maybe they're kind of scattered or they're not specifically going to a goal. I like to say when you don't know where things should go, all roads should go to the website. That's the first thing. Then, when you're in the middle of an active campaign, all roads need to go to that particular link. So if that has like a place on your website, great. If not, maybe it's through your CRM, but you need to make sure you can track all of it and not just posting to post, but you're genuinely saying, this is my intention and this is where I'm going. And then that leads me to my third part, which is the funnels, building a system that works. And I want to talk about the thing everyone says they have, but very few actually do, and that's a funnel. And simply put, a funnel is the journey someone takes from I just found you to I trust you to I paid for you or whatever, right? Like it's the discovery to trust building to like opening the wallet. And most people's funnels are like they post on Instagram and hope someone buys, but hope is not a strategy and that's not a funnel. And so let's talk about this. Let's get in it. So a real funnel is going to look like the first thing is attention. So social media, networking, events, that kind of stuff, you've got to draw attention to the offer. Then you need to capture. So like lead magnets, freebies, digital gifts, registration pages, something that once you get the people's attention, you're then capturing their information so you can nurture them. And step 3 is the nurturing. Step 3 is the emails, the content, the education, the reminders, the text, whatever it is that you do. And then the fourth is convert. So like after a call, you would have the offer, you would do the call with them, pre-qualify them, and then enroll them, convert them. So like, for example, let's talk about the CEO woman. And so we have Marketing Monday, which is visibility. We do free trainings and events. That's could be the second part of it if we wanted to build a funnel from this. And that would be our capture. And then we could create email follow-ups, which would be our nurture. And then we could have a program offer, which would be our conversion. And that's a system, right? Visibility, capture, nurture, convert. It's a system. You need a system. It may be different, but you need a system. And the reality is if people need to figure out how to work with you, you don't have a funnel. So it's really important to take the time to understand what it is that your audience wants from you, and then create just one really simple, meaningful lead magnet. And then use that to build your email list to say thank you for giving you their email. And then if you've never built an email sequence, I highly recommend trying it. An email sequence is usually anywhere from 3 to 5. I mean, you could have 7, 10, 20, but it's like a nurturing email sequence where you speak to your audience in a meaningful way about things that matter to them. And then you use that platform to build trust, to position yourself as a person of authority in your industry, and then to basically lead to that conversion. The idea is that if you have, let's say, your focus for the quarter is building your email list. So on social, you're inviting people to join your email list. Maybe you're running an ad, and in that ad, it's join our email list and get this free checklist when you sign up. And so they're like, ooh, I like that. So they go in, they register, and they get their freebie. But then you start sending them, let's say you have a nurture series that's 5 emails deep. And in that nurture series, you have it set up strategically where it thanks them for downloading. It reminds them to use it. It invites them to expand on it. And then maybe the fourth or fifth email is an invitation to do it together or to do a call, something that leads to conversion. You want to make your offer obvious and easy to access. So create one lead magnet, build that 3 to 5 email nurture series, and then make your obvious offer and make sure it's easy to access. We don't want them to have to find you. We want them to, once they find you, then to be connected to you. So essentially what I'm saying is you don't need more platforms. You most likely don't need more content, and you definitely don't need any more chaos. What you need is a better system. You need to be able to track what you're doing so that you can make strategic decisions for your business. Because businesses that are going to win this year are not going to be the busiest. They're going to be the ones that are the most efficient. So if you're in the middle of going, what works and what doesn't work in my business, and how can I make it better? Then this is the challenge for you. Automate one thing this week. Track your real numbers and build one simple funnel step. Not all of it, but I just want you to start. That's it. Just start. Because marketing isn't about doing more. It's about doing what actually works. And you cannot figure that out if you don't try. So you cannot be afraid to get messy. You can't be afraid to dip your toes into something new for your marketing, especially if you're hesitant on the AI piece. AI is here to stay. So you need to find a way to use it in your business to help you speed up, to help you automate things, to help you become more efficient. Using AI to help you move your life forward, to move your business forward, is not cheating. It's a strategy. And efficiency is going to win this year. So, are you prepared? Do you have the most efficient experience for your customer base? And if you don't, no worries. But let's work on it. And maybe together, hop on my calendar. And I know I'm going to close out here early because that's all I've got for you today. But I appreciate you hanging out with me, and it's my kitty. And yeah, we'll see you on Wednesday, this week, Wednesday, Julia Healy from United Charitable is going to be with me. I'll be interviewing her on Wednesday. So if you're going to watch Let's Talk Business Wednesday with me at 9 a.m., I'd love to see you. And you can come and hear a little bit of Julia's story and what she does and what her organization does, the impact that they have. So we invite you to come hang out with us. I hope you have a great week. Talk to you soon.